for us to be able to come to school together, look at the people next to you, and look at their differences. Some are white, some are black, some are mixed, some have curly hair, some have brown hair. And so Dr. King fought for the right for us to come to school together. That was one of the key components that I like to highlight for our day. And just like Dr. King, we all have things that we have to fight for as well. How many of you are used to the word bullying? We all know that word very well. So, just like Dr. King stood up so that everyone can have equal rights, we have to stand up for our friends and for each other to say, stop bullying. Stop bullying. That's something that we can do now to be a part of Dr. King's dream. Okay, let me say that again. To be a part of Dr. King's dream. All right. So, if we're going to dream big, the one thing we need to dream big is love. L-O-V-E. Dr. King, his dream, all right, was derived off of love. He said, love yourself and love your neighbor like you love yourself. So when people talk about Dr. King, because they did, when people push Dr. King, because they did, when people went to fight Dr. King, because they did, guess what he did? He loved them. He turned the other cheek, and he showed an example how to walk away from bullies. He didn't bully them back. The next thing that Dr. King really pushed was peace. He wanted us to be peaceful. So when people would fight and argue, and when the police they had water hose against people who marched and things like that, he taught peace. We don't fight violence with violence. And in his terms, darkness cannot fight darkness. Only light can do that. And so you all have some things in your lives that you need to persevere against, because Dr. King, he pressed. He never gave up. He continued to fight for equality and justice for all people, even when people told him he couldn't do it, even when he was turned away from marching and they told him he couldn't march in certain cities. He continued to get up day after day, even when he knew his life was in danger. He knew that his life was in danger. He continued to get up every morning. He continued to go out and fight the fight. And so as students, you're probably thinking, what does this have to do with me? I'm in elementary school at Crull Elementary. Well, you too have a job. You have a job. Most of your parents will agree with me and say your job is to go to school. So even when you don't want to get up and go to school because you had a long night and you didn't go to sleep because you were playing Minecraft, you still have to get up and come to school. Even when you don't want to do your homework because you think, this is so dumb. I don't know why I have to learn this. My teacher doesn't like me. Guess what? You too have to fight. You have to continue to push on, and you have to persevere, and you have to turn in that homework. You have to do that homework. When people aren't being nice to you, and I can't stand that person. They get on my last nerves. They're always saying something mean to me. They're never nice. Guess what? You too still have to love them and be nice. And so that's Dr. King's message. And his message was shared mainly through his I Have a Dream speech that so many people remember. You guys skipped the part. I said the word dream. Okay. Because I had a dream speech that he gave on Washington. And many people don't know this, but I'll share this little fact with you guys so that you guys can seem like you're the smartest in the room if anybody asks you. Dr. King first gave that speech about an hour away from here in Detroit. So if somebody asks you, Dr. King first gave the I Had a Dream speech in Detroit. Yeah, somebody's getting it. And he dreamed big. So he was able to share this speech with over 250,000 people. And it's also noted that he wasn't even supposed to share that speech that day. But someone yelled from the crowd, "Share the dream, Dr. King." And so that showed me how we have to also encourage each other. We have to encourage each other to turn